Feminism and Confucianism. Both ideas seem so far apart, but is it possible for them to coexist? Korea and Feminism. While opportunities and rights for women in Korea have grown greatly, especially if we compare it to just 100 years ago, it's still being actively pursued as it's still behind comparative to other countries. The first wave of education for women in Korea, brought upon by the Japanese colonization and Protestant missionaries, led to the challenging of norms at the time. And now, women were able to have new opportunities, and this was the start of feminism in Korea. This grew over time, especially peaked around the 1960s to 1990s, where women were integrated into the workforce in order to maximize the economic growth of Korea. Fast forward to recent years, a feminism reboot from 2016, centered around radical feminism, was sparked by a murder case at Gangnam Station, and also a book titled Kim Ji-young, born 1982. It was about a housewife who becomes a stay-at-home mother and later suffers from depression. The book focuses on the everyday sexism that the title character experiences from her youth. It can be said that most of the feminism happening now in Korea is second wave feminism, focusing on rights and protection for women, happening on fourth wave online platforms. But what exactly is this radical feminism? It centers around reordering of society to remove patriarchal beliefs surrounding socioeconomic contexts. Its, its actions usually include opposing sexual objectification of women, raising public awareness regarding women's issues, and challenging gender roles. Rallies, parades, and marches, like this one in Seoul for International Women's Day on March of 2019, are often examples you can see for feminism in Korea. However, not everyone was able to be on the same page, especially towards bad actors bordering on misandry, leading to a lot of anti-feminism sentiment in the larger Korean community. Some examples of backlash towards feminists being backlash towards this GS25 ad, which was very controversial because it contained a gesture which alludes to the Megalia online community, which was intended to mock men. And really recently, on the 27th of November, the biggest video game publisher in Korea, Nexon, was under fire for having the same gesture in one of their promotional videos for their game MapleStory. It led to both the promotional video and the GS25 ad taken down. Korea and Confucianism. Korea has traditionally adopted Confucianism after it was introduced to Korea from Yuan China in the late 13th century and adopted as official state learning by the founders of the dynasty in 1392, and it was widely accepted in the whole country after this point. To the father when young, to the husband when married, and to the son in old age. This can be used to quickly explain the gender dynamics between man and woman in Confucianism. It takes three bonds, san kang, the relationship between the father and the son, the ruler and the minister, and the husband and the wife, as the basic net of society. This is a statement that really reflects the interdependent identity as opposed to individual identity as a base of Confucianism. Looking back on history, while the suppression of women itself was not the primary intent of Confucianism, sexism that plays a big role in the interdependent identities, especially surrounding gender roles, was really prevalent and led to the issues surrounding women's rights we see today. And so a question arises: can Confucianism coexist with feminism? If so, how? In relation to the concept of gender in Confucianism, feminism at its core advocates for suspending the concept of separate but equals, implied by yin and the yang, visualized by the Taeguk symbol. In a capitalist democracy sense, this can mean optionality, the ability and freedom to decide and choose career and professional paths. Some views regarding Confucianism and Feminism. In 1994, Lee Chen-yang, a professor of philosophy at NTU Singapore, wrote about the Confucian concept of Gen and the feminist ethics of care. Inside, he said that Confucianism, known for its characteristically patriarchal elements, and feminism are compatible on the basis of their key commonality, namely care ethics. Another view by Kim Hae-suk, a professor of philosophy at Iowa Women's University since 1987 and was president of the university in 2017, wrote in the Confucianism and Feminism in Korean context that feminist ethics in a Confucian society must take equality, fairness, and the individuality as the primary values to remedy the injustice incurred by the long tradition of patriarchal Confucian ideology. Seeing both views, we can conclude that the values themselves are not incompatible. However, past interpretations of Confucianism have made it seem that they were conflicting. And so, we can come back to the original question. Can feminism coexist with Confucianism in Korea? And I'd argue yes. However, the value of individuality must be acknowledged in order for Confucianism and feminism to coexist. And this does, in fact, support radical feminism as the choice, since their end goal of pursuing individuality and choice aligns the best.